How you doing? I'm Todd Bosley from Todd Bosley's World Famous Treasure Hunt. This is our first video that we've made, and today we have Gene, who's here. Gene is a professional picker.
Yeah.
He does garage sales and flea markets, the antique sales, all of that stuff. He owns a company called Watchman Antiques, and we get a lot of interesting people here at Ohio Trading Coin and Jewelry. They stop in and sell things, and so I thought today we'd make a video about some of the interesting finds that Gene has. He can tell us a little bit about them, and this is kind of what we do. He'll bring in a bunch of different things. He'll show me. He'll give me the price. He'll say, here's what I need out of it, and we'll see if we can make a deal. So, Gene, tell us a little bit about what you have.
Well, I got a lot of different types of costume jewelry, and sometimes costume jewelry, depending on the name, the condition, and the piece, what it is, can bring several $100s an item, especially what they call Tafari jelly bellies, which is a pendant that would be similar to this, and it would have a crystal in it. And Tafari made a lot of them. This one in particular is a fish, but this is not high end or anything like that. But a lot of people don't know what they have in their drawers and in their jewelry boxes and stuff like that. So anyhow, costume jewelry is a pretty hot item right now. The older, the better. The turn of the century, from the Victorian age, you're looking at big money on a lot of that stuff. They have what they call mourning jewelry, which back during the Victorian days of the 1880s and that, people used to wear black jewelry as a sign of mourning. And it started over in England at that time with Queen Victoria. And so anyhow,
So tell us about some of the stuff you have. Like you have an interesting pair of spurs, and you have some belt buckles here. United States Marine Corps
leather. Yeah, I believe this is for a child because of the size. And then you got collectible spurs on that end of it. And depending if it's signed or not and what it is, they made a lot of fancy spurs, and they could be worth a lot of money. Especially the ones from the Southwest and down in Texas and different things like that.
Are these signed anywhere? I didn't even get a chance to take a look at them.
I cleaned them up on that end of it, and I got them at an auction. I just like spurs, but spurs are a good investment also if you're looking for a collectible.
Yeah.
And anyhow, the belt buckles.
These are very interesting here. So this is all. I'll show you the back of that. Very ornate. So let's talk about the value of a belt buckle. What do you estimate of something like this to be worth, and what are you asking for?
Well, that one I like because of the design of the wolves on it. I would say that one would bring at least $15. It's never been used. It was still in the box and stuff like that. And, it just depends on what people are looking for as far as collectibles. Whether or not it's a truck driver belt, whether or not it's something dealing with farming, like this community out here in Louisville. It'd be a farmer might like a tractor on it or something like that.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you can find and what you have, and whether or not it's a sign piece, and the year or the date when it was made or something like that would drive the value.
So let's talk about the belt buckles. What are you asking for the belt buckles, and what do you think the collection of them would be worth?
Okay, well, we got a couple more here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one there. And there's one there. And I think that was it. I'd say anywhere from there right there. These are somewhat generic. The nicest one is probably this one.
Yeah, that's a nice piece.
And this one here. And of course, like I said, the older the better, the more valuable in that. I'd say we're sitting with about $30 right there, at least.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's a nice one there. Yeah, that's not bad. That breaks it down to about $5 a belt buckle, and from our side of it, then we could easily probably turn those for $10 or so a piece. These get a little bit difficult. I mean, you got to find somebody that's worked there or collects trucking type stuff.
Right.
But overall, yeah, not bad. All right, let's move on to a few other things here, and then we'll try to make a deal on everything you want to sell if we can. You want to show us a few more things out of there?
Yeah. Well, this is a costume. You can tell by the stone, okay, and it is southwestern type, and the southwestern jewelry with real turquoise is a very hot item right now.
Yeah.
A lot of the mines, this is synthetic now. This is not real turquoise on that.
Yeah.
But if it was, the mines out there in the southwestern part of the United States, a lot of them have closed down. So that has driven the price up of turquoise.
Yeah, I see.
And there was one mine out there that they referred to as Top Hat. And that was because they only found enough turquoise come out of that little single shaft or mine to fill a top hat. And its turquoise is more valuable than gold.
Now these pieces that you have here, is any of this turquoise real?
Well, this one is a real piece of turquoise here, and it's sterling, you know, but that turquoise is real, and you can tell as you go along that what is real and what isn't real.
Yeah.
They call some turquoise is made with restituted turquoise, and what that is that they'll grind up the turquoise and re-glue it and then place it within the silver. Reconstituted turquoise, that's what I meant to say.
Wow.
But it's real fine ground up and re-glued back into the silver as a mixture.
Huh. That's very interesting. Let me take a look at those and see what else we got in there. So, what do you have any other turquoise in there? Or?
Well, this is fake. This is costume, but it looks nice, you know. So if somebody likes a particular,
nice piece,
looks at it for a particular color or whatever the case is, this is sort of costume also. This is not a real stone, I don't believe, on that end of it. Of course, the bigger the stone, the coloration and everything will drive the price. And this is costume also. It's trying to look like southwestern. It's got reconstituted turquoise in here, but this is what they would call a slave bracelet. I don't know why they call it that, but anything that has a ring connected to the bracelet is considered what they term as a slave bracelet. And this also is another slave bracelet.
No, I hope they change the name or come up with a better name.
Yeah, well,
they're pretty setups. It's
well, teenagers for some reason like those, you know. And this is costume also, and you can tell by the color of the stone that it's costume, and you can tell how it's made also that it's costume jewelry also. It's nice decor. It's something that's not high end usually on that end of it.
So give me an idea of what you're looking for out of the whole lot, and I assume these are all sterling.
Yeah.
In that box.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, there's some nice rings in there for sure.
And this is also costume jewelry as far as the turquoise on that. And a lot of people look for.
Oh, that's a nice piece there.
Yeah, this is costume also. And some of the different designs and stuff like that represent different things to the Indian tribes out there, like Thunderbird on that one, I believe. You know? And it's just, of course, Bakelite. This is lucite. This is lucite, I believe, on that end of it. But if you had a piece of Bakelite, you can test it by taking semichrome and polishing it and looking at the coloration of the cloth also. And somebody, I think, had said that you can use Fantastic 409 and hit it on Bakelite, and looking at the color of the results will tell you if it's real Bakelite. And the more design pattern, this, like I said, this is not Bakelite, but this is probably lucite on that end of it. But if it was Bakelite, the more carvings in the design and of course the color and the size would drive the price. On an average of a piece of Bakelite, that if it was a cuff bracelet, would bring, at the bare minimum, $150. And some of them, it depends on whether or not, if it had, let's say, if it had little polka dots on it or fish or something like that, some of them could go up to $900 to $1,200 easily, real fast.
Why do you think about a price for all of this? Tell us about those two pictures that you brought in.
Okay.
Those seem really interesting.
Well, the one on the left here, what I look for is to make sure that it doesn't have any damage on the poster itself. The water damage is on the outside of that. This can be easily replaced. But this tells me that this is probably from World War I era because of the flapper involved and just the coloration and the design pattern of it. And it is signed also. So if you can find a poster with a signature on it, it is going to drive the price even further, maybe 3 times up further than what you would normally get on a poster like this.
And that other one looks like it's hand-signed autograph. Right?
Yes, yes. This one is from the silent era from the 1920s, and that's Mary Pickford, and it's her original signature on it. This would sell somewhere between 300 and on up, just depends on the condition. Now the frame is pretty well beat up, so you know that this is probably an original print. And like I said, if it's signed, it's going to drive the price up, the condition, and you know, some of these older pictures, you always want to look at the back also, because what will happen is that on the back side, especially if it's got like wood planks going across it, that's a very early piece. And people back during the day, turn of the century and that, lived out in the country and that, they would take their valuables, like a deed or something like that, or marriage certificate, or even money or something like that, and they would put it behind the slats of the picture. So you always wanted to look at the back and pull the nails out to see whether or not there was something behind there that was hidden. And over in Adamstown several years, well, I'll say a couple decades ago, a woman had pulled out an oil painting from the back of her car, and this guy bought it for a couple $100. Well, when he opened up the back of it, it had a copy of the American Constitution.
Oh my God!
And there's only like 20 or 30 copies of the American
That's crazy.
Constitution. But he was smart enough that he looked at the backside of the frame, and they found it, and it hit the news outlets over there on that.
Oh, I bet.
So.
Well, Gene, let's make a deal on the stuff you brought here.
Okay.
And we'll have to be wrapping up pretty soon.
Yep. Well, let's see here.
Let's talk about everything on the table. What are you hoping for?
Did you want these?
Let's take those out since those aren't signed.
Okay. Yep. We'll talk about those later.
Yeah.
Okay. For this right here, I would like to get $140 out of it.
Okay. Sold. We'll buy it for that.
Okay.
That looks like a good deal.
Okay.
Our customers love to come in and we put a lot of this stuff out in the case, and when we can price it the right way, it's fun, especially before Christmas time.
Oh yeah.
We even get a large Rapala ornament, or that's not an ornament, but a
Fishing lure or
fishing
something.
lure. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What are you asking out of the photos?
I would like to get 125 for the pair.
125. What do you guesstimate them to be worth?
The one on the right, because it's signed by Mary Pickford, and the condition of it, I've seen them go online for over $300.
Yeah.
Okay. This one here dates from World War I. Like I said, you have some water damage around the outside of this matting, but not the picture. The picture is in mint shape.
Yeah, it sure looks like it is.
And I would say that is World War I.
So this is a community fund campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and so they were raising money for the war, it looks
Now,
like.
there's a name on the back of it. I didn't get a chance to look at it.
So what does that say?
Winslow Homer Palm Tree Nassau. Watercolor, the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, from Oberlin, Ohio. Huh. All right, so you're saying that you'd like to have $125 out of the set.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
It's well worth it.
Yep, we're going to buy them.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to buy them, and we'll put them on display here, and maybe someone will come in, somebody will see this video and want to come in and purchase them.
Sounds good.
All right, well, Gene,
Okay,
thank you very much.
Right. Yeah.
Folks, thanks for joining in, and join us for more exciting pickers and different adventures that will be going on with Todd Bosley's world-famous treasure hunts.